Hey guys, today's video is about the bridal makeup industry. Now, I'm probably going to do a couple of these videos for you, but today's video is just going to be a bit of an introduction about the industry, what it means to work as a bridal makeup artist. And I know a couple of you guys have been asking me about contracts and a few specifics about bridal makeup. Now, there's so much information to talk about in terms of the bridal makeup industry, and I don't want to overwhelm you with all of that information in one video, so we will talk about that. Today is just going to be sort of an introduction. I wanted to get this video done when it's still earlier in the year so that those of you who are working bridal or are getting into bridal makeup, as you get clients for summer weddings and winter weddings, you guys will be prepared. There are going to be some of you out there that are already doing bridal makeup. This video might not give you as much information as you want, and you might find more information in some of my other videos when I get to the more specifics about working in the industry. I'll try to give you a couple tips in this video as well. And those of you who are just getting started as a makeup artist, I promise you at one point or another, someone is going to ask you to do makeup for their wedding. Bridal makeup is a great way to make money. It's a great way to build clientele. It's a great way to meet people and network. If you haven't done any bridal makeup, it should be something you consider. It's going to make things a lot easier for you. If you do a couple weddings that pay really well, it just takes the load off in terms of the financial burden of being a freelancer or having your own business. I actually started doing weddings and makeup for weddings when I was between the ages of about 17 to 19. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't approach it as a business. It was just a quick way for me to make cash on the side. It was a great way for me to earn money to go to university and pay for school and books. So I started doing this when I was quite young, and I still can't believe I was able to make money at that time because I really just had no idea what I was doing. My kit really wasn't prepared. This is something I would totally not recommend. If you want to get into bridal makeup, I recommend going into it well prepared and understanding how the industry works so that you can benefit more, make more money, and there will be no surprises when you're interacting with brides and confirming dates and doing your contracts. So don't be like me. Don't just go for it without knowing exactly what you're getting into. Try to educate yourself a little bit, do a little bit of research, and make sure you are prepared. And as part of this series, I will be doing a kit essentials video for bridal makeup, just to give you guys a couple quick tips about makeup and skincare that I like when I do weddings, so that you have a little bit of that information as well. Doing makeup in the bridal industry, it's very hard work. There are a lot of things that you have to consider. It's extremely customer service focused. You have to work very quickly. You're always working under pressure, and you have to market yourself and your services in a way that help you stand out, because there are so many bridal makeup artists who do makeup and hair. So you need to really focus on the business side of it and make sure that you and your services stand out so you can continually book clients and make great money. There is a ton of competition in the bridal makeup industry because you can make a lot of money and there are so many people doing bridal makeup. You have your artists who do this full time and all of their energy and resources are put into advertising their services for bridal makeup and hair. You have people like myself who are agency represented artists but also do bridal as an extra source of income. So there are a lot of people out there that do weddings. So keep that in mind, especially when you're thinking about getting into bridal. You really have to make sure you're on point with your services, and there are a lot of things for you to think about. So I'm going to go through a couple of the things that you need to have in the top of your mind in terms of what it means to be a makeup artist in the bridal industry. The first thing is that you are going to be working a lot of weekends and a lot of holidays. People get married on Saturday and Sunday for the most part, but they also get married on New Year's Eve, on New Year's Day, on Christmas Eve, on Thanksgiving, and there are some clients of mine who have been getting married on Thursday and Fridays to save money. So those weekends and holidays, those are the days that you're going to be working, and this is going to happen all throughout the year for you. And sometimes you're going to be starting work at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. If your bride has to be married at 11 o'clock a.m. at a church somewhere, you need to make sure everybody is ready to go. There are bridal parties of 10 and 11 people, so you need to wake up quite early to accommodate this. So if you think you're only going to be doing weddings that start at 10 in the morning, if you get to a point in your career where you can pick and choose what weddings you're doing, that is fantastic. If you can't, when you're first starting out, you're going to be waking up really early on some days to get these people ready for their wedding. You can expect to travel a lot. You're going to be doing a lot of weddings in the suburbs. You're going to be driving to locations that are close to your city perhaps. You might be going overseas for a wedding. You might be doing a destination wedding. So you have to keep in mind that travel is a big part of the job. Not all of your clients are going to live on a public transit route. They're going to be living all over the place, and you're going to want to accommodate them. The other important thing that you might want to consider, especially if you are a makeup artist that's already kind of getting into the bridal industry and you already have clients is getting a car. Sometimes the cost of a car ends up paying itself back because you're able to take more jobs because you can drive a little bit further. So the car may pay for itself over time. I did weddings for a long time just using public transit. It was a disaster. I was dragging my kit all over the TTC here. When I got a car, I was able to take on more weddings that were maybe 1 or 2 hours out of the city. So keep in mind that a car is a great investment, especially if you do want to get into this a little bit more seriously. When you are running your business, your mileage and gas and the cost of your car can be written off. But that is again a whole other video and a whole other topic for discussion. But thinking about transportation is really important. You're going to need to get places very early in the day if you rely on transit, or you can't afford to not take transit. Maybe you can't afford to take Ubers everywhere. You have to consider that, and you will have to turn down clients if you cannot be accessible. So traveling is a really big part of the job. And when you're first getting started, this type of business can pick up really quick. Out of a handful of weddings, you may have 3 or 4 that are 1 or 2 hours out of town, and making sure you can get places easily and on time and in a costly manner is going to be very important when you're running your own business. On top of working on the day of your client's wedding, there are a number of other days and a lot of other hours that go into booking weddings. You're going to be speaking with your clients over email. You're going to be possibly meeting them for coffee. You're going to be chatting with them over the phone. So this type of correspondence and meeting them before the day of, there are more hours that go into working for a client than just what happens on the day of. Sometimes when I go back and look at emails that I've sent to some of my bridal clients, there can be 40 or 50 emails just back and forth discussing the logistics of the day, the schedule. So there is a lot of other work that goes into bridal makeup other than just doing a beautiful job on the day of the wedding. So also keep that in the back of your mind. And in another video, when I talk about pricing and contracts, I'm going to speak to you a lot about this type of time and how when we think about what we're charging for bridal makeup, we have to consider this correspondence with the client before the actual day of, because it does consume a lot of your time, but that's for another video. You can also expect to be doing makeup and hair trials. Trials are a big part of working with your clients. A lot of people are going to be paying you an additional day to make sure they can get the exact look and feel of the makeup that they want from you. It's the time when you're going to talk about your contract and your services and what's expected of you on the day of their wedding. So the trial is a very important part of the whole process of working as a bridal makeup artist. As I'm thinking about this and as I'm talking to you guys on this video, I may do a video for you on top of the contracts and actual financial side of things. I will probably discuss the actual process of how a person can book you for makeup and hair for their wedding, because I'm thinking that might be helpful for you guys. As I'm saying this out loud, that is probably going to be a good idea. So the trial is a big part of booking your client for the wedding day as well. Also expect to be doing hair and makeup. I think this is really important for bridal makeup artists. You want to be able to be that one-stop shop for your client. If you can do makeup and hair, you're going to make more money at this. And if your clients like you, they will book you for more than one service, so you'll be able to make more money. So even if you're not really strong at bridal hair right now, do what you can to learn a few more bridal styles, practice on your friends or get a mannequin so that you can be able to do makeup and hair for bridal. It's just another way to make a little bit more money on the day of. You can also expect to have very upfront discussions with your bridal clients about the cost of your services, your booking policies and procedures, your contracts. That part of the business, I know talking about money and collecting payment is hard for some people, but it's a very important part of the business that we run. You need to be able to discuss frankly how much you charge, when payments are due, your deposits, and what you require for booking. You have to just be firm on these things, and you have to be comfortable with discussing this side of the business. There are so many things that can happen, and I will share stories with you in another video about things that can go wrong if you avoid these type of discussions, and you're going to have a lot of problem collecting your money as well. So again, another video, we will definitely talk about that, but please know that you're going to be having these kind of awkward discussions sometimes about money. When you're talking about payment, it's not time to feel bad for people. It's not time to offer a sale or a discount. If you're trying to run a business, you have to be firm on your pricing model and the policies that you have for booking and for payment. So it is one of the most uncomfortable parts about the whole thing, but it's a necessity, and you definitely want to make sure you get paid, because that's why we're doing this. To provide a full range of services for your clients, you want to make sure you have a really great network of people that you trust that do hair and makeup for bridal as well. You kind of need a team, a squad, people that you can call on when you have clients that literally have a bridal party of 11 people. You're not going to be able to deal with all of their hair and makeup without having them wake up at like 2 in the morning. So you want to make sure you can provide that service for your client and have have a great network. There's some clients too that will want you for makeup and then they'll ask for a recommendation for a hairstylist, and it's a really nice service to your client if you can say, yes, I know 3 or 4 people that do hair, here's their portfolio, here's their information. Make sure you have a good network of people that you trust to work with you. You're going to be referring a lot of people, so make sure that they do great work and they don't make you look bad, especially if you're referring them to your bridal clients. And your clients will be happy because they won't have to do a lot of searching on their own, and it just makes you look really professional as well. Also expect to work all year round. Back in the day, a few years ago, I would say maybe like 5 to 10 years ago when I was doing bridal, it would be dead in the winter and the summer months, May, June, July, August, would be slammed with work. A majority of weddings still happen during the warmer months, but people get married all year round, everywhere, on every kind of holiday and date you can imagine. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, people are getting married on weekdays now to save money. So if you do want to get into the bridal industry, weddings will be happening all throughout the year, and this is another reason why it's so competitive and it's so lucrative, because people are always getting married no matter what. So those are sort of the expectations of what it means to be a makeup artist in the industry. Just a couple things I wanted to make you guys aware of. Now there's some of you that are like, okay, awesome, I need to know now, how do I get started? What do I do? If I just graduated school, where do I go? How do I start doing bridal? There are a couple ways that you can get into it. If you are not 100% confident in terms of your abilities as a makeup artist, maybe you feel like you're not fast enough, you're not really great at hair or doing updos, or you don't want to deal with the business side of it, you can seek out makeup artists who are already established in the industry. You can contact them and you can discuss assisting them with weddings. So if you do find makeup artists that are located in your area that you can assist, I don't want to talk too much about the specifics about this because every artist runs their own business differently, but you can expect that you're going to be working at a lower rate than the rates that they advertise for their clients. You are the assistant in this case. They have done the majority of the work. It is their clientele that you're working with. And with that in mind, when you get to the wedding that you're working on, it's not the time to be a super creative artist or do something that you saw on YouTube or Instagram. You have to follow the direction that the artist has already established with the client or the bride so that everybody looks cohesive in the pictures. So it's not the time to go rogue. You're there to do a job. You're there to support the artist and their client. So keep that in mind. Don't go running in there with all these ideas of crazy makeup that you want to do. You're going to be working under the direction of the makeup artist that booked the job. Even for me right now, I still assist my friends who are hair and makeup artists on their weddings. Sometimes it's just so much easier. I just show up on the day of, do my hair and makeup and leave. I don't have to be involved in that whole series of communications before the wedding day. So it's sometimes nice to just show up and do that. So assisting and working with other great artists is awesome. It's fun. You can still make great money and you don't have to deal with the whole business side. If you're somebody that's watching right now and you are already a pretty established makeup artist and you've been doing a few weddings but you want to get a little bit more into the industry, I would recommend reaching out to wedding photographers and event planners for weddings. Those are great contacts to make. You can promote yourself and they can start to network with their clients and refer you to the brides that they're working with. So that is a great way, especially if you want to maybe move focus and move specifically into bridal makeup. If you're already working as a makeup artist, reach out to the people who are doing the event planning and photography, and that's a great way to build your clientele and to get referrals. I would still recommend that you be prepared with your contracts, your booking policies, and your pricing model. Your brides are going to be shopping around. They're going to be contacting different makeup artists. If you can give them all of the information that they need in one email and your work looks great and you have maybe a couple photos you can send them that are bridal, even if you don't advertise it on your Instagram or your website, if you can provide them with all the information that they need, they're going to be more likely to book you. You are up against other makeup artists and hairstylists who do weddings as their primary source of income and as their full-time employment basically. So you have to be competitive with these people. If your client is emailing somebody that does bridal all the time, they're going to be able to respond to that bride with all of the information straight up. They're going to have a site that's beautifully designed to showcase their makeup and hair work on other clients. So you want to make sure that even if you're maybe not advertising it on your website or on Instagram, if you have brides that do approach you, you can have pictures of brides that you've done to show. You have your policies and procedures. You want to be able to give them all of the information that they're looking for so it doesn't look like you're iffy about doing it or you're not confident, because they can find 10 other makeup artists that do this for a living that will be able to respond to them quickly and concisely, and they're a one-stop shop. So keep that in mind, especially if you are somebody that's already established and you kind of want to dabble in a little bit of bridal. Make sure you're prepared and you know what your clients are going to be looking for. So that's it for the first video I'm going to be doing for you you about bridal makeup and the bridal makeup industry. Just a few things to think about, and you can start to kind of get things organized in your head if it is something that you want to pursue as part of your business. As I mentioned, I'm going to be doing a couple more videos. We're going to discuss booking policies and procedures, contracts, pricing. All of that will be coming up, I promise. If you have any specific questions about bridal makeup that you need answers to, please put them in the comments box below and I'll make sure to include them in future videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like this video, and of course come and follow me on social media. You guys can come and say hi to me there and ask me questions there as well. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, so check that out and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye!